YouTube, Demi here with the garbage fire build that costs way too much currency and can do a lot of stupid things. It specializes in any map that has a lot of rares, due to the fact that we're wearing a headhunter, which allows us to steal the rare monsters modifiers, and Xerxes Heart, which allows us to get Soul Eater every time we use a Vol skill, and we're self-cursing with temp chains so that our buffs last forever. We have like a minute-long headhunter buffs and around 20 seconds worth of Soul Eater buffs, and we're not affected by our own temp chains because we're wearing Calm's Roots. After that, it really doesn't matter what you have. Like, as long as you're wearing Shackles the Wretch to reflect curses back to you in this item, Headhunter to steal mobs and get stupidly strong, Xerxes Heart for the extra Soul Eater. You don't really need this. You can do it with just these two items. But Xerxes Heart allows you to get Soul Eater guaranteed. You can occasionally get it from rares, but this is like a guaranteed way to proc it for the whole map, which is what gets you real big. And then Calm's Roots so that you don't get slowed down by your own temp chains and you can't be stunned. Great. The rest of your gear doesn't matter. I've tried a couple different variants of this. I did Winter Orb at first, and then I tried Kinetic Blast as a pure Wander, self-cast Winter Orb, and then pure Kinetic Blast Wander. And I was like, fuck that, that's stupid. And then I switched to Poet's Pens, because with Soul Eater up all the time, you have a ridiculously high attack speed, so you can actually proc these fast enough to cast at full speed. They nerfed it this league or last league by making it twice as hard to get the attack speed required, but we have infinite Soul Eater, so that's irrelevant. We're just Poet's Pen now. And then the rest of your gear is just ES. ES helmet, ES chest, ES rings, but it really doesn't matter because, as you saw in some of those clips, I'm hitting like 20, 30, 40k ES just because I'm stealing headhunter buffs. Some of the rares have additional energy shield modifiers, which is like 1 to 2 to 3k flat energy shield, which is then multiplied by your skill tree. Like, I'm not even res cap, it doesn't matter because you steal headhunter buffs. They give you resist, they give you damage, they give you power charge, frenzy charge, endurance charge on hit, crit multi, attack speed. It's completely irrelevant. Just kill some rare monsters and run away with it. So the main interactions here, I guess we should talk about that. You need to be an occultist because you need to be able to curse hexproof enemies. If we can't curse anything with our gloves, we can't reflect curses back to us. So you need this. It also allows you to explode enemies, which deals a quarter of their maximum life as chaos damage. That's a huge amount of AoE clear. It just one-shots packs, basically. And after that, it just kind of doesn't matter. I grabbed an additional curse here because I'm using Ellie Weak, Warlord's Mark, and Temp Chains. And then if I get any other curses from what's it called? Mobs from Headhunter buffs, then that helps as well. You also get some curse effect, which is pretty useful. And then on the other side of the tree, I took Wicked Ward and Vile Bastion. This gives us 30%, up to 30% ES regen per second, and a bunch of flat. And then Wicked Ward helps if you start recharging, you can't stop it basically for like 4 seconds, but it really doesn't matter. You could go full damage if you wanted. You could take this for the negative cold chaos res. You could go for power charges. You could do this way to switch out your freeze flask. It really doesn't matter. You mostly just need these two, and then after that's irrelevant. The skill tree is kind of weird because you need to get all of the curse effect nodes. We have this cluster, we have this cluster, we have this cluster, right? And you need to be able to fit 2 Inspired Learnings because Headhunter allows you to steal rare monster modifiers. Inspired Learnings allow you to steal rare monster modifiers, but you have to have 4 notables in the radius. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're both active. Just so that I can steal extra mobs, basically. The rest of the skill tree is just like crit multi, spell crit, and dex. And make sure you get CI, make sure you get leech to ES, and then, like, you know, just crit multi, spell crit. So occasional ES, some leech over here, some more ES, crit multi. Unnatural Instinct goes here if you can afford it. Again, if you can afford a Headhunter and a Xerxes Heart, you can probably afford this, so slap that in there. It gives you 45 multi. If not, just use another jewel. It's irrelevant. We do need to get a lot of stats in the skill tree, because that's kind of annoying, because Xerxes Heart makes everything take 50% increased attribute requirements, gems and items. So like this Ice Bite takes 170 or 180 dex versus 114. No, did I do that math right? Something like that. So just make sure you have enough stats. I actually have 2 dex nodes on the tree, and then I path over here for more strength as well. You need a lot of strength and a lot of dex. So depending on what skills you want to use, you're gonna need to worry about that. I'm currently using Fireball and Freeze Pulse because it just looks the worst and it hurts my eyes the most, and it doesn't seem to matter what skills I use. I started with Arc Ball Lightning, I tried Firestorm, I tried Winter Orb as I mentioned earlier. I tried to get Bladefall, but the amount of dex that Bladefall requires, it's like 200 dex to start out with, so you need to get like 300 dex to be able to equip it or something insane like that. I couldn't get it to work. I don't have enough dex on my gear. But yeah, the rest of your jewels just go for like crit multi and whatever else you can get. You're gonna get all the attack speed that you need from your jewels, or from your Soul Eater stack, so just go for multi on spells. So whatever spells you're using, get multi for that. Crit multi with spells, global crit multi with fire, crit multi with lightning, whatever. Try to get one onslaught abyssal jewel so that you can get that 20% attack cast speed, movement speed bonus, mostly for the movement speed. We don't need the attack cast speed. Resist, again, I'm not res capped, don't worry about it too much. Just go for damage on your jewels or ES if you're uncomfortable. The way the build works is basically as long as you can kill the first pack of mobs through whatever that might be, you'll get a headhunter buff or two, and then you just run with it through the whole fucking map. It's just irrelevant. Gem links, so in your Poet's Pen, whatever spells you want to use, just put a spell, put something else in it, and then a damage support. That's all it is. Fireball, GMP, Controlled Destruction. This one's Freeze Pulse, GMP, and this should be a Controlled Destruction, but I didn't feel like buying one, so it's not. It doesn't matter at all. It's so irrelevant. Main 6 link, again, you don't need this. You just need, like, let's see, probably a 3 link, 4 link. Kinetic Blast, GMP, Ice Bite, Reduced Mana would be more than enough. Gives you your big AoE and Ice Bite for some frenzies, and then if you want to throw in faster attacks and a Culling Strike to help you start the spree, you can. I use Reduced Mana because it's like, you're going to attack really, really goddamn fast. So you're going to want to make sure you have that. If you're struggling with mana, even with like Mana Leech on your boots and stuff, you could just drop some of these links and maybe get like an ES on hit jewel, like a Viridian Jewel with, or sorry, Viridian Jewel with mana on hit, I should say. Just get a little bit of mana on hit. 2 mana on hit should be more than enough. Kinetic Blast hitting the whole screen constantly with 2 mana on hit would fill us up instantly, you know? Other gem links, I'm using Herald of Ice linked to Innervate. This gives us some flat lightning damage. Not really needed, just Herald of Ice is fine. You got a Flame Dash for going up and down ledges. In your gloves, this is what you need. Curses that in this item are reflected to you, so you have your Herald of Thunder in here, which when you kill a shocked enemy, it just sends bolts down and hits stuff around you, right? So you link that to Curse on Hit, Temp Chains, and Warlord's Mark, so that whenever you hit something, you are Temp Chains, and you get Warlord's Mark for the enemy, for the leech, but this allows you to make your debuffs expire a lot slower. So our Headhunter buffs, our Soul Eater buffs, our flasks, everything lasts forever. The curses on us, they last so long, it's great. And then I have a Discipline and a Power Siphon, Vol Power Siphon, sorry. This is specifically to proc Xerxes Heart, because it gives you 10 seconds when you use a Vol skill. Power Siphon has the lowest soul gain prevention time at 4 seconds, I think, so you get 2 charges and it only takes 4 seconds before you can start gaining Soul Eater stacks again. So you should be able to keep this up for the entire map. The only problem I have is with enough Soul Eater stacks, your attack speed is so goddamn fast, you can't use less than 2, so you just kind of use both stacks at once. Even if you just tap the button, it just instantly attacks twice. It's really, really hard to like get it to work. As for your flask, whatever spell you're using, try to match that. So I'm using Dying Sun because I'm using 2 projectile spells for the AoE stuff. Quicksilver Flask because you got to go fast. Diamond Flask because, you know, crit. Gives you 2 rolls of crits. And then the other 2 flasks are kind of up to you. I'm using a Taste of Hate and a Vinctar's, but you could just easily use a Cinder Swallow Urn and the new Bottled Faith Flask. I think that would help. We do so much damage, even with Kinetic Blast, that I've gotten this tooltip to like 5 million plus tooltip, starting at 4k base, just due to Headhunter buffs and Soul Eater. Like, your main attack, even though it's not meant to do damage, will do damage because you have so many Headhunter buffs. So, yeah, this build is garbage. It's really expensive. It's really fun. Definitely not something I would recommend for the faint of heart. I've died a lot on this character, specifically in Delves, because I was trying to run depth 600 plus, and I'm not res capped. There's not that many rares in Delves, but it's a good build. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say to it. If you can get matching enchants, try to get an Ellie Week on pair of Shackles, Leech Boot enchant, and whatever enchant matches your spells. This does not match my spells. It's just a high ES helmet, basically. Which, again, doesn't matter, because we get all of our ES from Headhunter. So there is the worst build I've seen in a while. It is absolutely cancer, and if you want to play it, by all means, have fun with it. I don't recommend it, though. It's trash. But paste is in the description. I'll see you guys next video. That'll be out.